think we are, hopefully my camera is all set up properly, and we are good to go. So, you see from my title, and we're talking about reduce, reducing the anger which leads to violence. Don't forget, folks, while you are here, like and subscribe, and comment down below. Emotions, I think I've talked a lot about that, and I've been talking a lot about it here more recently. We're talking about pain from the past and the emotions that comes along with it. Anger is one of the emotions that comes along with um with you living with a pain from with pain from your past. Reducing the anger. This is a lifelong work, I would say. I don't believe that you get into these um, personal development work, transformation work, personal growth work, trying to change your life, and then, hey, Christy, good evening, and then you get into these, um, you know, deep inner work, and then you will get to walk away from it and just never do it again. I don't believe so. I think this is a lifelong work, and I think it goes for anything else. If you are a great educator, or if you want to become a great educator, you got there. Now you are possibly the smartest guy in town now. You don't get to just not educate yourself anymore or not engage in learning anymore. That is just not how it goes. You have to continue on to learn. You become the heavyweight champion and you defeat everybody and get to where you are. You don't get to not go back to training anymore and going to the boxing gym anymore. You don't get to do that. That is just not how it works. Same thing here. When you get into the transformation journey, a journey of change, you got a little bit of change, right? You see a little bit of change, and that change makes you now you feel a lot more better than how you feel, right? So what do you do now? You wanna stop doing what you normally do, or the things that you did to get you to where you need to be, you stop doing them. That is just not how it goes, and this is the reason why once you get into shape, you get into fitness and all that stuff, you have to continue on to go to the gym. Same here. When you are working on washing away the pain from your past, you can't just um make the change and then you stop. That's just not smart at all. You have to continue on to do it. So you have to keep on doing it. Now, anger is something that you might work on over a long period of time. Um, yeah, it's fine. Let that person talk whatever they are saying. Awareness without inspired action creates greater suffering. So you must continue. Yep, must continue on. Must continue on this journey. You must continue to get better. Right. So anger, which leads to violence, because you need to be in a certain mindset in order for you to inflict certain amount of violence on somebody else. You are not normal. People who carry out those type of violence are typically not normal people, unless um, it's in a immediate situation where something happened, and typically this person is not a violent person, but they defend themselves and things went the wrong way. Okay, but aside from that, people who typically carry out these violent acts and violent atrocities and all that, atrocity of violence, it's just there. It's just not normal. Okay, working on the anger. This is a huge problem for a lot of us, especially when you are a man and you have so much emotions that that you are walking around with. It's absolutely it can cause you so much problems to the point where you get you can get yourself hurt and perhaps even hurt other people as well in the whole um, you know encounter. Working on the anger because you want to reduce the violence. There are some things we can do to make sure that we reduce the anger. There are um, certain steps you can start taking, certain measures you can take to de-escalate without even have to have any enemies around you. But you can start de-escalate right here, right now, in your present circumstance. You don't need to wait until some person showed up, some opponent showed up. Then you start de-escalate. Hi Ruth, how are you? Good to see you. I heard it's cold down there in your guys' part of town. One of my friends live in that area, and she said it's freezing cold down there. All right. So we can de-escalate right now. So some moves we can start making right now to de-escalate. One of them is try to, let's say, at your job you are not getting the respect there, and if you're a man, men likes respect, and they don't like to feel disrespected. I mean, everybody likes that, but men takes it more seriously, and that's the reason why you see they do all these things to each other, because somebody disrespected somebody and they don't like it. That's why they clash, and eventually sometimes end up fatal. So let's say it's at your job. Your job, and the boss doesn't necessarily respect you. One of the smartest thing to do is to get out of there and find a place, a spot where you feel more welcome, and go there. Go where you are treated better. From my personal experience, that's what I know. So that's one move you can make right there. Next move, you can just go to an entire different city, an entire different town. Small towns, I would, say it, recommend. I will highly recommend smaller towns, right? So what do we do now? So we start making these moves now. Still, you feel a little bit more peaceful. Hardly anybody in this town know you. You don't have any real enemies. You haven't made any enemies yet, because you are still an angry person, despite you make all these moves and you make all these little shifts and little changes here and there. Next thing, you're gonna have to start to do the deep inner work on yourself, and this has to get done. And this must be done day in, day out. I don't think you should stop. Maybe sometimes you can take a little break here and there, because it is not as bad anymore. Hopefully, you got to that point where it's not as bad anymore. You can function in society without go off and go crazy and trying to start problems with other people. So, things that, just giving you what I learned over a long period of time. What I learned. Um, I learned how to uh, reduce the emotions in my own life. I learned to wash away a good portion of the pain from my past. I learned to wash away a good portion of it. And like I said, this is lifelong work. I have been doing this for some time now, and I still have to continue on to do it because I know if I stopped, I pretty much can go back to where I was, and I do not want to do that. So this is why once you get on this journey here, you have to stay on this journey. So here we go now. Now we are in this situation where emotions has taken over our lives. Pain of our past became so strong because we are remembering all what happened to us, everybody who done us wrong in the past, and that will live there. So that has to be dealt with. If you allow the pain from your past to take over your life, your life's gonna be really, really hard. As you will never be happy, and you are always going to be a miserable person. Misery and anger, all these, negative emotions that, tag along with your pain from your past. You you can't trust nobody. You can't really like anybody. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you, and so forth. So this is when you have to do the work on yourself. I notice when I start to um, when I combine, running plus working out, hybrid fitness, it is both mental and physical. That's the beauty about fitness. It's both. It helps both mental and physical. Things begin to start to look whole lot different. When I also couple with that reprogramming of the subconscious mind, that begins to move things along, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Right. So when I decided to start to take my fitness a lot more serious, I noticed the anger goes down. The pain of my past begins to diminish and reduce. And all when I start to work on the programs, the mental part, then it dawned on me, anger is a habit. We get into the habit of getting angry. So it's a practice. We practice it so often, we got so good at it. So as soon as somebody says something to you, automatic, right away you jump into the anger. And that is terrible. It doesn't it's not a good look. And the people who are observing you, trust me, they are not looking at you in a good way. So we want to work on that. Don't run away from it. Don't back away from it. Don't shy away from it. I want you to sit down with it and say, this is what I have to deal with. This is my personal foe. This is my personal enemy. The beautiful thing about those things are they are built in, right? So you don't have to go look for any enemies anywhere out there. That's a beautiful thing. When you become aware of it and start to understand it, you realize that my enemy is internal, not external. So nobody outside don't need to know about it. So when you get up every single day, you said, war is on. You have to fight this battle here every single day when you get up. This is your personal battle you are fighting. Just you and you only. Right? Now, this is when you um, go down to the gym. That'll be one of the first thing I recommend. Because you want to start feel better about yourself. And also, you know what comes with fitness? You are more attractive. People who are in fitness are just more attractive people. Yes, they are. Yeah. Fitness makes you more attractive. So now you are in shape and you are also more attractive, physically attractive, and you are in shape. And then you start to work on the mind. The repetition, when you see how much of it you have to do, it's going to look like it's a mountain you are climbing. How many times do I have to read and listen to the same things over and over and over and over? As long as it takes. Because you see, I don't believe in quitting. My superpower is showing up. Some people are bigger than me, stronger than me, taller than me, faster than me. They probably can work even way more harder than I do. But I am going to see who can show up more often, me or them. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna get some things done. Maybe I might not get as much done as the other guy, because the guy's faster, he works faster, everything, blah, blah, blah. And that's okay. You don't need to be the fastest guy in town. You don't need to be the biggest guy in town. You don't need to be the strongest guy in town. You don't need to be the richest guy in town. You just don't need to be those things. You can, if you want to put up with all of that headache, to be all of that stuff. I have no desire. I don't have the appetite to be the fastest, strongest, biggest guy in town, toughest guy in town. I have no desire to do that. My desire is to show up and get some work done. Get enough work done where it will take me from where I am right now to where I need to be fast forward in the future. Right? So if you can develop consistency, it can be developed. Become consistent. You show up when you don't want to. Make your life a lot more easier. You are pretty much more harder. Right. Well, that would be something which I probably would strive for. I would strive for something like that. Becoming the coolest guy in town. I would strive for that. Okay. So now we have the fitness part down. Start to looking, like I said, attractive. It's true. So we get in shape, we stay in shape, we get fit, stay fit, get healthy, stay healthy. Get consistent, stay consistent. And then you will start to become attractive and you need to stay attractive. What am I talking about here? It needs to be maintained. You have to keep on doing it, keep on doing it, keep on showing up. That's how people start taking you seriously. When you start to show up. Even when nobody is watching, nobody is looking, still show up. Do what you need to do. So that way you can get yourself from, get out of your present circumstance. However you got into that, however you got into your situation, however you got into it, it doesn't matter anymore. Getting out of it is where the challenge is. And you're going to have to do what you need to do to get out of it. get out of that situation. So in this case, you pain from the past took over your life, so now you are full of emotions, and now you are very angry, bitter, and hateful, all those things that comes along with it. And you are saying, how do I change? I gave you a couple earlier on. Move to a new city, that would be one. Stay away from people, places, and circumstances that adds to your bitterness, that adds to your anger. Stay away from disrespectful people. People who disrespects you, who doesn't respect you, stay away. We have to be aware of that too. But that was something that took me a long time to really um, caught on to, because these people didn't respect me, so I ended up treating them a certain way. I I'm glad that you know awareness was created, because it's not funny. I do not want to be like that. It's just not a good way how to live. So before I even become that person towards that person, become such a jerk towards that person, I don't want to do that. I would prefer not to do it. So I would avoid those people before, for anything. I would just like, no, I don't want to bother with this person at all, because they don't respect me, and then I am gonna have to go disrespect them because they don't respect me. I want to stop it before it even goes there, quickly as possible. I want to put that down as quick as possible. All right. So those are some things that we have to pay attention to. And like I said, you get in shape. People who are in shape are typically happier people. In fitness, people who are in fitness are typically happier people. Runners are typically happier people. One of the reasons for that is because when you runners, they releases some chemicals called endorphins. These are the happy chemicals, makes you a lot more happier. Runners release those, and it makes you more happier. So typically you see runners, we are typically happier people. You see, we saying hi to each other, high-fiving each other, and so forth. We are just typically happier, right? People who are in fitness are typically nicer people. I'm not sure why, even if you see them hiking or walking, or they're just typically happier people, right? So fitness, hybrid fitness, I would highly recommend. That would make you a bit more happier than you are right now. Now, and then you start to work on the subconscious mind, because this is where the real challenge is. You want to wash away some of the memories, some of the pain, some of the trauma, some of the bad times. You want to wash away some of those. When you remember the bad times or stuff that happens in the past, it should be short lived. It should flash across your screen of space for a very limited time, and then it should go away. Back then, I could sit down and hold on to something for a very long time. Now, they don't last for long anymore. Those moments comes in, they stick around for a couple seconds, maybe a minute, maybe a couple minutes or so, and then they went away. So it tells me that they don't stay around for long anymore. That's where I am at on the journey to, of taking my life back, um, creating some better emotions, or I should say, your emotion, like I would say, improve your emotions. I think that's the goal here, is to improve your emotions. Your emotions can be improved. I like to watch, those people who farm. Um, they're into like organic farming and all that type of farming and what do you call it? Oh my, I can't say, I can't get, the word right now. But these farmers, they will give them these soil and give them these land. The soil is just horrible, terrible soil. Permaculture. Thank you for permaculture. Thank you very much, Christy. Permaculture. And these sites, these lands, these soils are so terrible, dry and arid. But these farmers took those soil, those land, and work on them, improve the soil, improve the land. You could not believe that that was a barren, arid, dry land full of rocks and everything else. And these guys could turn that thing around. Your emotions are like that. Our goal is to improve our emotions. That we can do. We can improve our emotions. I don't care how bad the emotions are. They are extremely negative, I know. And they are extremely painful too. But you can improve your emotions. Am I saying this is easy? No. But I'm saying it is doable. So I was given some emotions which were not good. Okay? And I spent my, especially the last year and a half or so, improving my emotions. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate you. Right? So that was something that I didn't know. I didn't know I could improve my emotions. They were like, oh, you have to fix your emotions, work on your emotions. Like, how do I do it? Can you tell me how to do it? They know what you need to fix, but they don't know how to help you. And this is where I was struggling all those years. They didn't know how to help me. I have to go on this journey to figure this thing out on my own. So what improves your emotions? Fitness and reprogramming the subconscious mind. Work on your thoughts. Yeah, exactly. I have to figure it out. You can improve the way how you speak. I think we know that, but sometimes we don't know how to do it. They told, go learn all these big words. True. I want to learn these big words too, because I think it's just fun to learn them. Me personally, I don't need to use them. I just want to learn them. I don't know if I even need to use them, but I think I need to learn them because it's fun to learn. Learning is fun. Learning is fundamental, fundamental, right? So learning is fun. I like to learn those things. So I learn how to avoid using certain words and use the words which are more, which when you are exchanging or you are in a dialogue, those words doesn't inflict pain on the other person. Some words are very painful to somebody else, and some words are just not painful, right? So that's why we can improve the way how we speak, the way how we communicate with other people. We can improve that. And we can also improve our emotions. When you figure that out, there's nothing else to stop you now. You can go improve your emotions. I don't care how bad your emotions are. They can get extremely bad, like it did to me, or like I did to myself, however you want to say it. but I walk around with some stuff for a long time, and it poisoned it poisoned my mind, poisoned my thoughts, poisoned my emotions. And then it was my job to change it. Right? So that's exactly what I did. Improve my emotions. Today, I wouldn't say I am where I want to be because I have more work to do, but I'm farther ahead of where more than where further. I'm in a better position now, I should say. But the thing is, I have to do the work every single day. Day in, day out, I get up. Now I know I have my own personal enemy. My enemy is built in, it's on the inside. I have to deal with the guy every single day, man. So we have to go to war because this is a battle that you must win. And I wouldn't want to call it war either. The way how the program that I was given, um, thank you, Chris, appreciate you. Now, I think it was Buckminster Fuller, he says, you don't need to fight existing conditions. You just built up a new structure. So we have to create new conditions, new outcomes. And that is the goal now. The way how we behave in the past, our behavior has to be changed to positive behavior. What we do matters. Can't be doing the same old thing and expect to get different results. Insanity is just not going to work. Change your thoughts, change your life. So we can change our thoughts and we can improve our emotions. These are things we can do. And also, we can build a brand new vocabulary. Okay? We can incorporate some different words into our vocabulary. Yeah. Words of peace, calm, success, prosperity, abundance, riches, wealth, kindness, caring, compassion, beautiful, wonderful, joyful. We can, admiration, value. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? You know, and because the thing is, like I said, one of the best thing I know. Oh, and also change your beliefs. One of the best way I think how to change your beliefs is I am affirmations. I believe. But you should listen to other things as well. But I am affirmations, I think, is one of the good ones. Oh, gratitude, by the way, also. Gratitude affirmations and I am affirmations. I would listen to those day in, day out. And I do. I still do. Right? So we have to listen to the same darn things over and over and over and over and over because this is how you maintain the change that you made already. You need to make more changes, and you will, but right now, you need to maintain the changes that you made because we don't need to go back all the way back to where you can go back a little bit, but not too far, right? You feel the way how you feel, the way how you feel, you can tell that you are in a different place in your life, the way how you feel. And the thing is, you will never arrive. That's the beautiful thing. You will never arrive. You're gonna always see, because you are down there at the bottom of the mountain. You got up to this summit. Then you look up again, you realize that I want to go up to that summit up there. You got to that summit, you be like, I can go up to the next summit, and you want to keep on going. So let's say you climb some mountains here in Colorado. Then you start looking around for some taller mountains to climb, and you go around the country, and then you start go outside of the country to go climb taller mountains. And then you said, I probably need to go climb Mount Everest now. Yeah. It's not that it's not unsustainable. Um no, because some people can do that. I can't, man. I have to. So I think there's a time for that, to sit down under the tree. I think there's a time to sit down under the tree and chill out. I really do. I think there's a time for everything. I really do. But um, uh, what do I strive for? I strive for peace, harmony, happiness, success, prosperity. Um, those are things I strive for. Great relationships, treating other people with love and respect, joy, fun, laughter, you know. So these are things I strive for. Helping my fellow human beings as well, with what I am good at and what I know how to do. So these are things I strive for. So day in, day out, I wake up. Oh, and by the way, I don't think you heard the part I was saying. I was saying that I have been given an enemy, a foe, right? One that I didn't ask for. So I got some negative emotions there to deal with, right? Because I have a lot of pain in my past that I need to deal with. This is my personal thing. This is not me crying and whining, okay? But that is my enemy. So I have to fight that enemy every single day, right? So when I get up every single day, I have to go defeat that enemy to make sure that I don't look like a weak, um, you know, person who is full of emotions in society. I don't have to do that. Once I put in the work here and making sure that I keep my emotions in check, because they need to be in check. Once I keep my emotions under control, then I'm good. Now I can go out into the world and treat the people out in the world with the respect that they so crave. People want respect. They want love. They want kindness. They want caring. They want compassion. We all want it. But I need to give it in order for me to get it back in return. So I have to improve my emotions, making sure that the enemy, my built-in enemy, needs to be defeated every single day. This is why I can't stop. Because I have a personal enemy on the inside to deal with. And it's called my negative emotions, pain from my past, old trauma. If I stop, I'm afraid they will come back. And I cannot allow them to come back into my life and run it the way how they did, almost run me to the damn cemetery. I'm not doing that anymore. That's why I have to fight every single day to make sure that I am in good standing with myself and the rest of the world. I'm going to leave it there, folks. So, like I said, improve your emotions. And if you improve your emotions, then your anger will be reduced. Once you reduce the anger, you reduce the violence as well. Emotions slash anger almost there to inflict violence on other people. All right, folks. Ryan here with a new video. I'm looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. I will catch you soon. Bye for now.